Get better rankings in Google. And who doesn't want that, eh? Hello, John Butt. Marketing for Owners, the podcast where I help you create your self-marketing company, a company that does all its own marketing while you go and do the things you'd rather be doing. How exciting is that, eh? Yeah, I know. That's why I'm excited. Well, Google rankings. We're talking websites. Now, hopefully, I hope you've got a website. If you've got a business, you have to have a website. If you have to ask why, then I don't think you're seeing the big picture. The internet is going to catch on. It's quite popular, you know. So you have to have a business online. It doesn't have to be selling online. You just have to have a presence where people, when they look for you, can find information and they can find real information about you. Now, it's also good if that website can rank higher in Google. So if people search for what you do, if you are a dental laboratory or something like that, if people look for a local dental laboratory in your town, wouldn't it be great if you could come up at the top or somewhere up there and put something in front of people? So I'm going to give you some little hints. Now, I will, first of all, this one disclaimer. If you use people who promise to get you to number one in Google or promise to get you higher rankings in Google, you will end up in trouble with Google. They are going to use tactics that work now. They're going to promise you that they won't get in trouble with Google, but of course they're going to, aren't they? They are going to use tactics that get you to the top now, and then one day, suddenly, you don't get any more visitors from the internet because Google has penalized whatever they did and put it as a penalty in one of their updates, and you are destroyed. Your website will never appear again. You then have to undo all that trouble, and guess which companies do all the fixing? Yes, the companies that got you in trouble in the first place. And I am not kidding. There is a thing called the disavow file. If you look up the disavow people, they are the people that offer link services. It's quite remarkable. A lot of what you'd call bona fide, quite obviously there are some genuine link companies. And I mean, I know a couple, and we've used a couple. There are some that do this properly. But to do this properly, to get someone to do it, is expensive because it takes knowledge and skills. It's much easier to have a go at doing this yourself, because if you're going to pay someone for their expertise, you're going to be paying them accordingly. Now, they all started somewhere, and it's possible to learn. So let me explain some basic tips. But did you get that? Do not pay to people who, no matter what they say, when you go to them and you say, oh, I was listening to a guy on a podcast who said don't use, and they say, oh yeah, no, I know what you mean. We don't do it like that. Yeah, you got to be careful who you use. Yeah, just don't. Just don't, please, honestly. Backlinks are the number one reason for the rankings. In effect, the way Google was built, I mean, there's over 200 aspects to their algorithm, and no matter what people think, Google are obviously not telling anyone or confirming anything. But very simply, if your dental lab was the best dental lab in the world and it was a model business, people would write about it from all over the world. Newspapers, other websites, other dental practices, other marketing companies, they would say, here's a fantastic example, and they'd link to you. That would be a backlink. That's what's counted as a backlink. They would say, click here to go and look at that website. And that would be totally natural, nothing to do with you. They would have been writing about you because you are fantastic. And those backlinks all add up, and Google, in their wisdom, will think that is a vote for your brilliance. Okay, so that makes sense, doesn't it? So that's a good sign. But is it as simple as that? Because of course then you can buy links from people. People will sell you links from highly ranked websites and say, we'll sell you a link. Google will never know. Please do not buy links, because Google, don't ask me how they know, but they do. it will get you in trouble. It's against their rules. And once you break the rules, once you're found, there's no, oh, sorry, I didn't realise. Oh, I paid someone to do it. It doesn't matter. They don't take those excuses. So how do you go about getting those links? So first of all, did you notice I said in that example, people would link to you because you've got something brilliant for them to link to. So first of all, look at your website. Is it worth linking to? Why? And why is it? Write it down, look at it, analyze it. Why would you link to your website? And if not, why not? Would you recommend your website or your service based on your website to other people who've never seen it? And so, if not, you need to get that fixed, first of all, because it's no good wasting your time asking someone to link to your website if they look at it and say, oh, no, why would I? So please get that fixed. Next thing is, who would link to you? Because you only really want relevant sites. So if you are that dental lab, you want people who are somehow related to that industry or to that thing. So you're in the health industry, therefore. So it could be a doctor's surgery, it could be anything relating to the health aspect. And health is a very big niche online, as you can imagine. But there are plenty of sites, there are plenty of blogs and people who write about things, who recommend, who do all kinds. You can contact them. So now the other thing is it's not about you. So if you are going to ask people to link to your site, what's in it for them? Why would they want to? So the next thing is to figure out a reason for them to do it. What is in it for them? What's the benefit to them? That's a tricky one, isn't it? So generally, you need to provide information. For instance, you might have a great infographic about the dental industry, which you've paid someone online to research and someone else to draw up, and it cost you a couple of $100. These are not expensive. And then you contact people and say, I've got this great infographic. That's a very common way of doing it. Or I've got this great resource, something, perhaps you've got some little tool that's for free, or you've got some report or an ebook or some kind of course or something like that, something of value. So that is the reason. If you ask me to link to you, I'm going to look at it and think, why should I? Okay, simple as that. I'm just being direct. That's it. Now, when you do this, you must build a relationship to the person that links. You can't just send out a load of emails to people and say, hey, I got this great article, please link to me. This is called spray and pray. It doesn't work. You need to contact somebody and you need to find out something about them. So look for people in your industry and start to compile a list. You want people who are important. Start at the top, people who are important, people who link to others. If they don't have a website and they don't have a social media presence, they're not going to link to you. They don't know what you're talking about. So look for people who have a strong social media presence and look for people who are active, who actively blog and actively give out information. They're the kind of people that are online and know how this works. Now, the other thing is, don't expect them to link to promotional content. If you are an e-commerce site and your webpage sells something, don't expect someone else to link to that. They're not going to give you a free advert. That's not how it works. They are going to link to information. In that information, if it says, me, we do this, we do that, we have this special offer, they're not going to link to it. It needs to be non-promotional. How do you do that? Well, when it's published on your website, it's inferred what you do. So you don't actually need, when someone comes to your website to read it, at the end you can put, for more information, take this action. Don't forget that call to action. So this is a way of getting visitors as well, not just the link, but people are going to send visitors to your website and they're going to read it. Think of all these things. So don't forget, make sure they're going to stay on your website for a while. Make it so whatever they link to, make it something that is going to keep them there. And then Google will notice this. If people go to your website and stay on there for longer, Google's going to think this is a good website. I might give extra weight and extra ranking to this. But the people who link to you don't want to get complaints, don't want to get emails and say, why did you send me to that? It's just some spammy rubbish. So think of this. So contact these people and say, hey, and perhaps, and don't do quid pro quo, because that just doesn't work. If you link to me, I'll link to you. That doesn't work either. Very easy to detect by Google. So remember, create something worthwhile, and you will find people are then willing to link to you, and then you will rank higher. It is not as hard as you may think. So if you go, for instance, if you download our free course, or download, it's delivered to you each day over 12 days, go to freemarketingcourse.co. You'll find out a lot of information on how to do this, how to set it up. It really is easy. And like everything, it's all in the setup. Once it's done, the hard part is starting and setting up. Once it's done, then it gets easier, and then it starts to perpetuate. And eventually, when you write to someone or when you call someone and ask if they want to link to this infographic, say, our infographics normally have about 20 or 30 people linking, people like so-and-so, people like this, such as we've had links from so-and-so. And then others think, oh, okay, I'll try that. It all comes in time. Take your time. Okay, Tuesday, toolbox tip. If you have a website and you do actually sell something, or you do have transactions, you want a secure website, then you need what's called an SSL certificate. A lot of people buy these from all over the place and pay all sorts of money, or they just buy them from their web host. But you don't have to. Your web host will probably put it in for you, actually do the upload for you for free, but it is quite easy to do. But there is a company that we use called thesslstore.com. They have massive discounts on every single type of SSL certificate. That's a secure layer, locking layer or something. Doesn't really matter. It's the thing that gets you the little padlock on your little website at the top. Go to the SSLstore.com, and they have massive discounts on readily available ones that you'll pay 2 or 3 times the amount for elsewhere. That's my recommendation for today. Oh, by the way, tomorrow we've got Craig Ballantyne. He is of Early to Rise and many things. What a fantastic interview. Do not miss tomorrow. I'll see you soon.